Welcome back, Spyder Riders. Spyder Dan here with Slingmods.com, and today we have our SideViz side view mirror running light and turn signal kit for the Can-Am Spyder RT. Safety is the most important factor while riding. Two of the most vulnerable times while riding can be when changing lanes and when yielding in the middle of a busy intersection waiting to turn. Now, one could argue that some additional lighting would increase your chances of visibility. So we've launched these. These amber LED strips feature both side marker running lights, which turn on with your ignition, as well as amber turn signals that notify other motorists in all directions when you use your turn signal switch. Our SideViz LED lighting strips are plug and play for the power connection and include a T-tap for the blinker turn signal wire. Now let's hand this over to Brandon to walk you through the installation on our Shop RT.
Let's start by removing our left-hand side view mirror and disconnecting this plug. Now, I made that look really easy because we have our magnetic mirror mounts already installed, but if you're still running the stock mirror mounts, you'll need to slightly push forward and up until the bottom clip comes out, then hit the mirror up with an open hand until it pops off the other two clips. And then just disconnect the plug. Now take a T30 Torx and remove the below mirror wind deflector. Then open your frunk and pop out this push pin so that you can remove this panel, and then remove these 4 screws. Then carefully pull this lower panel off, followed by the upper panel. Now grab your T30 Torx and remove these 3 screws. Next, you can pop off the other side view mirror, disconnect the plug, unscrew and remove the wind deflector, pop off this push pin to remove this access panel, and then remove these 4 screws. Followed by the upper panel. And remove the other 3 screws holding this front headlight panel on. Next, you can remove the headlight by unscrewing these 4 screws. And this large brass nut. Now unplug your running light harness from behind the headlight. Then take the new harness from the kit and plug that into those 2 ends you just unplugged, intercepting the signal going to your running light. Next, take this wiring harness from the kit and crimp bullet connectors to both the black and red wires. Then connect that black bullet connector to the black female connector of the running light harness you connected to the headlight, and then connect the red bullet connector to the orange female connector of the same running light harness. Now take the blinker wire that connects to your mirror and carefully trim back the protective wrapping to expose the wires underneath. Then take a T-tap and crimp that onto the gray and pink positive wire, leaving the black ground wire alone. Next, you can crimp the spade connector to the yellow wire coming off the harness and plug that into the T-tap, which will now send the blinker signal to your LED harness. Now, before you put everything back, plug your LED into the harness and give it a quick test by turning the key to make sure it turns on, and then hit the blinker to make sure it flashes. If that works, go ahead and unplug your LED and set it aside for later. And then pull your plugs through the hole for your mirror. Tuck in your wires behind your headlight. Push through your headlight adjustment screw and top it off with that brass nut. And then tighten down the 4 headlight bolts. And then simply repeat that same process for the other side. pull out the headlight and don't forget to remove the brass nut. Unplug the running light harness and plug in the new harness intercepting that running light signal. Crimp bullet connectors to the black and red wires of the new wiring harness. Plug that black bullet connector into the black female connector of the running light harness, and then the red bullet connector to the orange female connector of that same running light harness. Then take the blinker wire going to the mirror, peel back the protective wrapping to expose the wiring beneath, attach a T-tap to the yellow wire, then crimp the spade connector to the yellow wire from the new harness, and plug that into the yellow wire T-tap. Now test the LED to make sure it turns on, and hit the blinkers to make sure it flashes, before putting everything back on the bike, starting with your headlight. Then put the front headlight panel back into position, and tighten it down with the same 6 screws. Put the upper side panel back on and tighten it down into position. Followed by the lower side panel, wind deflector, and again, repeat that same process for the other side. Put the upper side panel back on and tighten it down into position. Followed by the lower side panel, wind deflector, reinstall the 2 service panels above your frunk. Now test fit the LED strip to the bottom of your mirror and make sure the wire will fit in between the plastic gap separating the 2 plastic pieces. Next, clean the surface area with rubbing alcohol and a lint-free cloth, as well as using a primer stick along the area the strip will be adhered to. Then grab an LED strip and remove the protective backing tape from the adhesive. Line up the end with the wires fitting in between the plastic gap. And then press down firmly, making sure to only press towards the end that is already adhered to the mirror. Otherwise, you will stretch out the protective rubber casing around the LEDs. And then repeat for the other mirror. Peel off the backing tape. Line it up where you want it. And then press down firmly to adhere it in place. Then finally, you can plug in your mirror LED strips, followed by the OEM blinker, and then reattach your mirrors to the bike.
So, if this product seems like something you'd like on your Spyder RT, head on over to slingmods.com today and pick up one for yourself. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with everything Spyder. I'm Spyder Dan, signing out.